This is not the end result. This has to be the beginning. We just lost 46 square miles of everything in the Banana River Lagoon. The bottom end of the lagoon has been assaulted for months and months. It's not over. We got a wet season coming. So I don't anticipate anything getting better. You have a brown algae bloom in the northern lagoon that probably will collapse the whole system before the end of the summer, much like 13. We lost over 100 dolphins, 100 mammals or manatees, and hundreds of birds. The interesting thing in that is in 13, they hid that from us. They handled more than 20,000 pounds of dead mammal flesh and shipped it to necropsy in St. Pete, and they hid it from us because they didn't want us to know. While they were in the process of legislating pollution legal, they didn't want us to know that everything was collapsing around us. Now here we are. In 13, we had 7,000 people show up at the locks. A week later, we had 3,500 people show up in 2 different places on the beach. We spelled out Save Our Rivers with human bodies on the beach. Our state legislatures, they freaked out. Oh my God, oh my God. They held a dog and pony show. Every single person at that was a sugar shill. Every single one of them. They promised us the world in 13. Oh my God, we're going to get busy on this right away. We're going to fix this. Do you know what they have done since then? They have legislated pollution legal. They have taken away our recourse on an illegal 30-year lease. They have annulled the 1998 Amendment 5 Polluter Pay Amendment. Another one of those amendments where we, the citizen, put it on the ballot. That last one, Amendment 1. Our mistake, 76% of the people who voted for that turned around and put back in office the sons of guns who stole it from us the first time. They have stolen our money again, $750 million a year. And they're up here dog and pony and show again. Oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Sugar's running full-page ads. They're on TV all over the place. What a good partner we are. When we back pump, it's clean. It's not as polluted as the lake. Here's the deal. The lake has 190,000 tons of phosphorus in the sediment. It's a shallow lake. When the wind blows, it comes back up into the water column, and it resides about 160 or 180 parts per billion of phosphorus. To send it legally into the Florida Everglades, it has to be 10 or less. 10 is the magic number. That is clean water. That's what rain falls out of the sky at, 10 parts per billion. So, here they are. We're back pumping into the lake, and it is clean because it's cleaner than the lake, but it's still 120 parts per billion. They've added thousands of tons just in this last back pump episode that they did 2 months ago. When that didn't work, when we raised hell about that, they went around the corner and they found a way to circumvent federal law so that they could send polluted water into the Florida Everglades, into Everglades National Park. So, for all of their promises, all they've really done is made it worse. For 30 years, we've been suing the state of Florida and agriculture to make them follow the Clean Water Drinking Act, which says really simply, if you pollute water, it has to stay on your property till it's clean. Right now in the state of Florida, Matt Caldwell, who has a good environmentalist running against him, finally, John Scott, he put in the last legislative session when they made all compliance with pollution laws voluntary for agriculture, where they changed the definition of natural bodies of water. If it has been dredged, if it has a seawall, if it has a weir or a structure, it is no longer natural. It is a conveyance and therefore immune to pollution control. The state of Florida has been fighting us for 14 years on back pumping. Been to the Supreme Court 3 times. We won in federal superior court in New York in 14. When they back pumped, I called David Guest, the lead attorney in this. David's a friend. I said, how can they get away with this? He says, Marty, water management appealed again. So here we are. We're suing the state of Florida. We're collecting nickels and dimes and friggin' cups, and we're suing the state of Florida to prevent them from making it legal for agriculture to transfer polluted water off their fields and into where our children play, where we eat fish, where we recreate, where all of our economy comes from. And they don't care. They don't care. If we would have thrown even a quarter of them out of office back in 14, they would be scared to death to be stealing our Amendment 1 money. We'd have bought the land south of the lake. We would have new storm treatment areas that would take care of us. One of the things they say to us in the Southern Lagoon, it's your watershed. No, it's not. Our watershed is 160,000 acres. Right now, we're responsible for more than 500,000, and it's sod and citrus and cattle. And they're spreading chicken poop and cow poop and human sludge out there on that stuff. They're using herbicides. U.S. Sugar is now planting GMO corn out there, Roundup ready corn, and they're bragging about what good stewards they are, rotating their crops, and it does such a good job. All down the line. They're taking that subsidy money we give them and they're dumping it back into our politicians. If you're running for office and you don't toe their line, this is what they say. If you don't toe my line, not only am I taking your money away, but I'm giving it to your opponents until you lose. And that's exactly what they did. That's what they did to Charlie Crist, and that's how Marco Rubio became our senator. It was bought and paid for. When we were having, in 13, just complete death in the Southern Lagoon, Marco Rubio shows up 3 months too late, directly from a 1-week workshop with the Koch brothers, getting vetted for the presidential campaign, along with George Bush. Jeb Bush, excuse me, not Bush. Bush family. So here we are. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but this is one of the first times that all ends of the lagoon have been represented in one place for a common goal. We are all of us, trying to make a difference. And litigation isn't working. Begging, cajoling, threatening. They're not afraid of us. They don't care. You've got Krista Foley, who's the first thing he said, I don't believe in buying land. I believe in agriculture. And he wants to be our Secretary of Agriculture. Our Secretary of Agriculture has a $4.1 million slush fund. He wants to be governor. The governor has a $4.1 million slush fund. He wants to be our next senator. And I got to tell you, Nelson has not been a friend to this lagoon. He has not. He's been a friend to the Everglades, but he's not been a friend to this lagoon. And the choice of lesser of evils is just, in my mind, completely outweighed. It really is. I mean, as bad as he is, he can't possibly be worse than what... If you want to see a horror show, watch Adam Putnam become our next governor. Just watch. The whole thing, the whole system is absolutely corrupt, and it is because we are not getting out the vote. You know, how many voted? This is a good turnout. Every time you don't vote, they steal something else from your kids. But we didn't do our job. We didn't talk enough people into voting. There's more Democrats than there are Republicans in Florida. There's no reason for us to have an omnipotent friggin' Republican administration that can steal everything. And they're not stealing from me. I'm 61. They're stealing from the children and from our grandchildren. I'm a 6th-generation Floridian. There isn't a water keeper in the United States